Hello, Show Me Your Hustle listeners. I am so excited to be sitting down with Klemen today. I'm going to let him introduce himself, tell a little bit about what he's working on, what's going on, and then we'll dive deep into some questions. So,
Ashley, thank you for having me. Super excited to join you. As I said, I'm Klemen. I'm co-founder at Sellestial. I'm a pharmacist by training, but these days are gone. 13 years ago, I jumped into the startup, and since then I've been a founder involved in business development, sales, marketing. Wearing all the needed hats. Now starting my third startup with my third time co-founder Nate. So yeah, it's been quite a journey. We're now working on Sellestial for a year. We're now under third pivot or second pivot, so third iteration of everything. So yeah, it's been a roller coaster, but in a way, if nothing else, we know what we signed up for.
Right. That's awesome. Well, I'm excited to hear your story and jump in. So let's start with your tech stack review. Give me a few tools that you use in your tech stack that you are in every day and absolutely cannot live without.
Yeah, definitely. Note taking, I use Fathom.
Okay.
It really nicely also integrates with HubSpot, so that's why I super love it. You have there everything that we can even then leverage with Celestial further. So that's why we also are happy if someone else is using it. But either way, I love using Fathom. So yeah, a really good note taking tool. Another one is Condo for managing LinkedIn DMs. It helps. It's a way to kind of a superhuman app for LinkedIn DMs. Where you can snooze conversations, tag, and organize. Again, it helps manage everything. Otherwise, as we all know, LinkedIn DMs can be quite, a challenge to manage if you have more than a few. For design and graphics, I use Canva and Figma. LinkedIn obviously is, a tool to go. I'm not sure if it even makes sense to mention it, but it definitely it is a tool. We use HubSpot as a CRM. Obviously ChatGPT is my good buddy. Use it a lot. Slack for internal communication, Google Workspace, Google Docs, Slides, everything around that. I use CapCut for video editing.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that one quite a bit too. In the recent future, I've been hearing a lot of CEOs talk about that. So
I've been playing around for a while with Weed, but now I'm just switching to CapCut for months. For my level of education and professionalism around video editing, both tools are super cool. So yeah, I just try to switch to something else.
Okay. What about your personal stack? So not tech per se, but like what keeps your hustle and your drive going? Whether that's books, habits, leadership tips and tricks.
I don't read books because I just don't have time and energy. Honestly, I mean, I have three young kids, so every time that I have outside of urgent to do, I dedicate to my family. I take the advantage of driving to the office at least once a week to listen to podcasts. So I have 2 hours of kind of education for podcasts. Within podcasts, I really like to listen to marketing and sales more than AI talks. If nothing else, I want to hear what sales and marketing people are hearing, how from what they're learning to just understand the personas we're talking to. I have a few here and there some webinars which I always prefer to listen afterwards because I can switch the speed to 1.25 or 1.5 to just go through everything quickly, and then I always also like to skip the first 5-10 minutes of small talk on every webinar. So by that I can save you probably half of the time of a webinar if I watch the replay. Other than that, I mean, going out of my experience of being 13 years as a startup founder, sometimes you have that gut feeling, even though it's not probably a gut, but experience from the past, that it's hard to directly connect to something.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so just quick summary of your story. So Pharmacist to 3 startups to where you're at now. What is that story?
Yeah, so I was finishing my master's in pharmacy. A colleague of mine, we were together at Scouts, called me, between Christmas and New Year's. Hey, what are you doing? We're building, a startup. We're a bunch of computer guys, and we want to go into bioinformatics software. So we need someone who understands life sciences. We knew each other. I said, no, why not? It sounds good. So I jumped in. We started off building, a bioinformatics software, selling to academia market. Then we pivoted into being a software solution for pharma companies, and then being a data science provider. In that, transition period, I started feeling I'm not, scientifically skilled enough to really bring any value. So I, spinned out what I've been doing there as I sales development person into a service company. My first company is still alive. They're now developing their own biomarkers for cancer patient and diagnosis. As a spin out, the second company was born. We started offering lead gen as a service for vendors selling to pharma. So for the past 5 years, I've been chief commercial officer there, driving growth there. We've been really narrowing down on biopharma as a target market, but still through that I talked to hundreds of sales leaders and teams, and we've been always thinking, okay, this is a lead gen agency, which is just a step in our journey towards building a SaaS company. So we've been always thinking, 2 years before ChatGPT was a thing, we were internally thinking and brainstorming and making some pilot ideas, building AI SDRs with the knowledge we had back then. It was a completely different story. We decided, okay, it will be hard to defend in any case the whole idea. And then after ChatGPT and everything, we just started thinking, okay, what do we really understand and everything. And initially it was, okay, let's help founders build a AI first CRM. Because we saw too many times how people are not following up, how leads got lost. So we felt, okay, that might be something, but we had MVP on board the first user. We had 20 paying customers already. Started fundraising, and through all that process realized, okay, it will be hard to compete against existing CRMs. It will be a long run that is hard to win. So we decided to scratch that idea and focus on building AI sales assistant on top of an existing CRM. And at that point, we decided to focus and double down on one CRM, and that was HubSpot. So that was beginning of 2024. Since then, I really deep dive, jumped into HubSpot, a community. Last year was really a lot of learning for me, networking with all the HubSpot experts. My first time at Inbound. And while we've been discussing and talking about AI sales assistant, towards the end of the year, we realized, again, it will be hard to scale and take it off, primarily because one of the assumptions was you have a lot of salespeople who have a lot of one-on-one communication on a daily basis that they need to automate. It turns out, there are not that many follow-ups. And if you have 5 follow-ups to do in a day, you don't necessarily need to automate that. Or at least you won't appreciate the automation there. But one of the users asked us, hey, you built a really nice tool to help personalize messages. Why don't you help us bring that into sequences in HubSpot? So they had a webinar coming up, 1,500 registrants, and they said, no, our default approach is, we're sending templates, template messages with hey, first name, personalization token, and then everyone's getting the same. So 1,500 different people are getting the exact same message. Where we had a system developed to really personalize every email that is sent, considering HubSpot information, so all the activity timeline, all the properties, enriched with LinkedIn information, company, website, combined with marketing materials of a sender. So we now developed a system to bring that level of personalization, so individualized emails, to HubSpot sequences and workflows. So this is now the third version of Sellestial. So a system to help you write super personalized emails within HubSpot sequences and workflows.
Okay. And
so yeah, long story short, kind of.
I love it. Squished, like multiple years squished into one. What was your big, so let's talk currently about your current role at Sellestial, and what's been your most recent big pivot where you're running forward, you're all in maybe on AI driven sales, and you're like, we need a pivot? Or have you had that moment yet?
I mean, I would say, yeah, that realization after building for a year the sales assistant for a single sales rep, in coming, to the conclusion that it will be hard to even, convince salespeople to manage email communication outside of email client, Gmail, Outlook.
Right.
No matter how good AI tool is, it's a huge ask for someone to change. And still, you only manage, half of your communication outside of Gmail, which means you need to learn something on top of your current tech stack. And, this is just, we realized it's hard. The bottom line was, okay, it's no matter how many small features we add to the tool, it's not going to make it to really grab people's attention. So we decided to just scratch that idea. Couldn't tell all the existing users, sorry, thanks for your support, but we need to switch gears, going the other direction. Of course, we leveraged a lot of system that we had in place within the previous version, but personas are somewhat different. The whole system is, before we had to convince every sales rep to change the pattern of their communication. Now we basically need 1 or 2 power users within every HubSpot user organization to help set up the whole system. And then, salespeople are just enrolling people into sequences.
Right. That makes sense. That's a hard pivot, but I'm sure, looking back through, you're like, I had to do it. It makes sense.
Yeah. I don't think any of us now regret that decision 2 months ago.
Right. All right. I'm going rapid fire questions. These are my favorite. So, what is your most loved and hated thing about being a founder?
Roller coaster. Is probably the best word to describe it. It's addictive. We often joke with my co-founder. We've been now working together in startups for 12 years together. I don't imagine going and working within a huge organization where I have someone above my head. I have a boss that I report. You just get used to that, startup foundership role and that luxury. Right. But on the other side, you are the one responsible for everything. No one will do anything, for you. You are the one that needs to hustle. You're the one that needs to figure out things. So this is, if you ask me in the morning, I might be excited about that same thing. And then in the evening, I might be just, oh, come on, again and again and again.
Right.
And this is that daily roller coaster where you are at the founder. So it is, exciting and devastating on the other side.
Totally. I think that's fair for anyone in a bootstrap early startup. It's like every morning you wake up and you're like, I got this. And then several times throughout the day, you're like, am I crazy? Is everything okay?
Yesterday, I was convinced we have it. And today I'm no longer convinced. And then you have, a discussion with someone else and then, a coach and then another founder. And everyone's giving you the opposite direction, opinion, and then you're the one who needs to make a call in which direction to go.
Oh, for sure. And then you get one person comes in and churns, and you lost that customer, and then you get a new one that's even better, and then you're hyped up again, and it's the loop of loops. Okay, what is your one prediction for where startups are going in the next 5 years? The startup industry in general.
In the unknown, I guess. I don't think anyone can now predict. The only prediction is a lot will change, I guess. The pace of development of AI and what you can do now with tools, AI coding. Compared it to 2 years ago, maybe in 5 years there will now be startups as we know, because everyone will be building their own startups, because why not? You can just develop something. So whatever I would say, I'm 100% sure it will be wrong. So probably the best answer is unknown direction. And I would say 100% sure it's something no one will predict correctly today.
I love that. We don't know. I don't know what's happening tomorrow. So.
It will be just adoption every day. And then changing and adapting to your go-to-market, your development plan. Everything will just need to be changed. And one thing is for sure, everyone who is now planning now a roadmap, expect you'll need to change it with the next model, if nothing else.
Yes. Okay. What makes your company have a durable, like what's durability look like for you?
Good question. I mean, one thing is every company we started, it's still alive. So this is what I'm definitely proud of. We didn't screw up any of those. I mean, of course, none of those is a unicorn. We're not rich by no means. But still, every company is alive. People are having a good time in every company. We all still love working together. We're not fed up. Working with someone for 12 years shows that you build something. You know exactly how someone will react, what you can expect from someone else. Right. So I would say that culture of within a company that you just keep having fun. Keep encouraging, just stay positive, stay foolish, is what just keeps us all awake and just dedicated for the future, whatever it will be. Back to the previous question.
I love that. All right, my last question is a fun one. What would your 8-year-old self think of your career today?
Looks fancy, but I have no idea what it is.
I mean, I think that's the perfect mindset of an 8-year-old, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
Probably it would be a lot of whys and how and what's that and all those questions.
Yeah. And you're not an astronaut?
No, yeah. And I mean, my daughter, when she sees me, what I do, she always says, I don't want to do whatever you do. You're just sitting in front of a computer. It's just boring. I mean, blah. But it's blah. I'll do something more exciting. And I totally support her. But these are kids' perception of looking at us sitting in front of a computer, having calls, and just typing.
Right. Well, this was so insightful, and it was so lovely talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashley, for having me. Super great conversation.